Hello, everybody. Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island of Hawaii. Lots going on, a lot of talk about. But let me say hello to my co-host, Tina Bird. How are you? Greetings,
Hello,
Tina.
Tommy. I'm Tina Brown from Southampton here in the UK. I've been better, but I'm okay. That's the main thing. And thanks for everybody for coming on and watching this week. We've got a lot to talk through, so I'll hand it over to Tommy. Tommy.
So we're going to get into a lot of things today. If you got questions, please put it in the chat room. And then if it's really important, we can bring you on. But there's so much going on in the United States. I can't say Tina's in England, so she knows what's going on over there. And there's a lot going on over there as well. But the UFO world here in Hawaii is incredible. I have about 12 people looking at the sky now, and they're all telling me what they see any night that it's clear out. And I didn't get to the ocean, which I'm really working hard to get there at nighttime because families are telling me they see these balls of light ships hanging over the ocean for hours. And it's not a drone. So obviously there's something really bizarre going on, which I want to try to get pictures of. I mean, I could talk to all the people that are homeless along the shoreline, and 1 out of 5 see it or saw it.
I'm going to, sorry, Tommy, I'm going to jump in there, Tommy. Tommy's actually right. It was announced this week that not a Momoa, an interstellar object, so a spacecraft or object from outside of our universe, made its way into our universe, did a slingshot around the sun, came back towards the Earth, and crash landed in our ocean. So scientists have actually been down and apparently got pieces of the wreckage or pieces of the shell of this thing that has landed and hit the Earth. Underneath the water. So it could be that they've released something into the water. They've put radiation, bacteria, a message to animals or mammals, something in our ocean. So Tommy could be actually on the money there. So it's worth looking at. Hello, Ed Fuller.
Greetings, people. Here's something I want to say. You know, basically, when people in the government, even people that say this, that, and the other, the speakers, I should say, all talk about how ships crash. Well, I hate to tell people, a lot of ships do not crash. And I witnessed it. Ships can go into the ground without creating a hole, without blowing up, and they come in full speed. So they're doing it in the ocean. Obviously, they're not going to get destroyed going into the ocean. But one of the most important stories, I'm going to do a show on it probably within a week or two about what really went down where Tesla was working with DuPont. And the biggest UFO story, the most important UFO story that happened in the United States that very few people can talk about, and people that wrote books on it have no clue what they're talking about, people. Like I said, truth only here, nothing else. We don't promote lies. We don't promote stories. I don't bring anybody on this show that I don't trust 100%. So when I talk about what happened in Wanakee, New Jersey, the aliens were going into the reservoir for 9 months. The Army was stationed around it the whole time. They flooded the city. They brought people out of the city and they flooded the whole city. So the whole city's underground, underneath the water. And during the 9 months, aliens were going in and out of there and the government couldn't stop anything. They were stationed around it watching it. Now, when I was working with Sergeant 18, one ship landed in Wanakee and he was running up to it and his friend tackled him. And just as the guy tackled him, the ship took off. So, I mean, it would have been like the other story, Travis Walton's story, but he knocked him down and got him before the ship took off. But people, the stories are real. I don't promote anything that I don't believe is 100% real or have been involved with or experienced myself. Tina experienced many things, people, especially being in a ship. All right. So when people say, well, blah, blah, blah. No, like I said, I'm not promoting fake stories and I'm not promoting useless gabber talk, because basically when you go to a UFO conference, you'll hear stories over and over, and 90% of them are attacking our government, the United States government, for one. And I have a thing about that. And this is my statement on that. The government is doing their job. They get paid to do it. They get paid to defend the rich people inside the United States. They get paid to build underground cities for the rich people. That's what they do. So when people say, oh, this project, yeah, it's projects, but it's not against people, quote, rich people. I mean, they sure don't care what's going to happen to the poor people. I actually mentioned it last time about how Jesse Ventura went to one of the underground cities, and they said, "Oh well, we're only allowed 10,000 people in here." And then he said, "What? Then what?" Well, we closed the gate. Nobody else comes in. Meaning the world could be blowing up, and then you're going to just leave the people standing there while they close the gates to their underground cities. So there's a lot of people you should be asking, should be worried about, should be talking about, and nobody in government will. The UFO people don't talk about it. I don't know how many people in the UFO world can actually say they saw a ship crash into the ground and go through the ground, which I did. I was at Sergeant 18 and his girlfriend at the time. So we saw it happen. We went there, right over where it went in. It was only like maybe 100 yards from us and everything else. So in the reservoir, he was living there because they closed up that property. They built a bridge that went from New Jersey to New York, and it's the Wanacue Bridge. But basically, that whole place, Tesla was working with DuPont underground. And where we went on the government property, secures, and there was these ruins of like concrete blocks and triangles and stuff. And they said, "Oh, it was the railroad tracks." What we saw was not the residue of railroad tracks. It was the residue of concrete buildings and things like that. And nothing was ever admitted about that. But in our travels, in our journey into the woods, we found a building, temple, kind of church temple building with the Illuminati on top of it and everything else. And no roads, nothing to it. I have no idea how they could have built it or did anything there. But when we saw it, there was hundreds of antennas all over it. So every station in the whole part of that state were putting antennas on this building. But like I said, there's no roads to it. I can go on. Like I said, it's a different story. I'll get into that. That's specific. I want to keep with the idea of what people are listening to, what people are seeing. I mean, Tina could go out any night and see ships over her house. So can I. I can go out any morning and film 2 or 3 ships. And people say, well, somebody just put up somebody, and I won't even use the word. They say how important it is, and they film 365 ships. I said, I could do that in a month's time. So when MUFON people, I joined it, and I was going to be an investigator in Hawaii, but the person that was here was a drunk, and he would never respond to my calls, and I just pulled away from MUFON. After they sold all their information to Bigelow, which they did for $87,000, all their UFO files and everything else. People, do you want the truth? Do you want MUFONs? They take information, but who are they giving it to? Bigelow's not a person to give information to. Go ahead, Tina. Sorry.
No, I just want to ask Ed in our chat room. Can I just ask you a question, Ed? It's just like a basic question. You don't have to answer it. Why do you tune in to watch me and Tommy? Is it because we talk about aliens? Is it something interesting to you? Is it something where you've just come across us? Or would you like to take part in the show? Or have you been visited yourself? It'd be I'm just interested to know. That's all. I'm just being nosy.
Give us a good answer and we can bring you on.
Yeah, no. I think since me and Tommy started the show and we started on about abduction, I think lots of people have taken mine and Tommy's ideas, which is great. That's what we're here for. We're just getting the word out. And they've built on that, and they've come out and said and done things and made their own way from that. But a lot of different people are definitely taking parts from the show to make it theirs. But we're here to get the word out that, do your own investigation, look at things. If you've had your experience, speak up. Not that you're an experiencer. If you're an experiencer, you're going to blow a candle as a nice experience. We're all about true abductees, so abduction. Me and Tommy are all about abductions. There's plenty of UFO sites and things like that, but we've seen and heard things, seen things, singing symbols, anything like that. So we're about the abduction. We're about the human. That's my speech. My talk, the human side of alien abduction. That is my talk. So you can't see it. Don't pinch that. And that is my talk. But yeah, Tommy's right. I just wanted to know what you thought about that, because I think over the years, me and Tommy have breached some quite serious subjects, and we have got like responses and things like that, and people have got involved. But Tommy, sorry.
How many years you've been involved with this now? Publicly, I mean.
I think I came out, sorry, something's happening to my screen. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Right. So I came out, I think it was about to the end of it, I thought about it for about a year. So 14 to 15. I think it come about at the end of 2016, 17.
Really?
So,
yeah, I was with Sargel from 1996.
not about 9 years now. About 9 years, is it?
Well, I got involved with Sargel in 96, and we lectured for 6 years until 2002. I mean, I knew all the UFO people. I was friends with a lot of the cool people, watched a lot of them get taken out, all those kind of things. But I watched the whole UFO world collapsing, meaning the stories and what they're talking about. When I went to we would lecture for global sciences, and there was supposedly a family, a woman and a guy that were aliens. And everybody's walking, those two people aliens, those two people are aliens. And I went to talk to him, and my friend actually had a big fight with me, and we broke friendship for a while. But people, I'm not in this for money. I've been in this. I never made a penny off the UFO world. I don't write on UFOs because everybody else is doing that. And what would one more book be? I'll tell you the two most important books to read right now if you want to know what's really going on. Red Bell's book, He Was Killed. So Sean David Martin was put in jail for 2.5 years. All right. Both of their books are critically important to understand everything from the government down to the bottom to what happened in the White House and everything else. All right. Nobody else can do that. But like I said, Red Bell was taken out 2 days after Jesse Ventura's show. And Sean was taken out because he discovered Area 51. All right. And they were on top of him for a long time. But they ended up getting all this information to put him in jail. But it was all lies. He became a sovereign citizen and was teaching people how to become a sovereign citizen. In law, you cannot get a lawyer if you're a sovereign citizen. If you go to court, you can't use a lawyer either. It's really pathetic because you're not a citizen, so you don't have those kind of rights. So he went right to jail. So people, I'm not suggesting become a sovereign citizen. There's just too much loopholes where the government will try attacking you because of it. But in the UFO world, right now, everybody's coming out, which is a good thing. The stories are going to be probably a little twisted here and there, but all Army people, Air Force people, Navy people, they're all coming out. All right. I don't think it's going to be much longer before more truth comes out. We're not going to get what the government really did, people. And if you think the government's going to come, oh yeah, we sold out 10,000 people every year. Are they going to say that publicly?
Every month. I would say yeah. The amount of people I've seen up there.
The story is they admitted to 10,000. All right, they were allowed to take, but it's like the tuna and dolphins. They're allowed to catch 10,000 whales in a year. How do they count them? Who counts them? Who counts the boats when they come in? Who knows when they kill a whale? I mean, the canning boat cans them out in the ocean. They don't even bring them in. So people, the number 10,000 rings true for a lot of reasons. Don't ask me why. The same as 27 rings true for aliens. 3 different people. Bob Dean talked about 27 alien races. Putin said 27 alien races. So that number might be real. Not that I know all the races. I only know 9 races that are dangerous to this planet. All right, which is enough. All the good aliens, if they're working with the government, they're not good, are they? They'd be working with people. And I don't hear people coming up with good stories about abduction other than they went to dinner and all the other stupid stories they tell. Not like they were. I mean, people say they got healed or they became. Most people that get abducted that I know personally became healers. The next year, they wrote a book on how to heal and things like that. I met a girl when I was doing a conference out right next to Area 51, and there was a couple other speakers, famous speakers, and this one girl said she was a prisoner on a ship that went to the moon. There were 2 aliens on the ship, and they were talking to one of the guy that was sexually abusing her. Well, you better watch out because she's related to this family and blah, blah, blah. But he came to the conference to speak, and I said I'd work with you with hypnosis to see what really was going on. She was crying in her room with her boyfriend the whole time. She came out, she started lecturing for about a half hour, started crying, started lecturing again. A year later, I had her on my show, and now suddenly she was a healer. So, people take an experience and exaggerate it to mean something important to what they think is important. Healers aren't important, people, whether you believe that or not. Healing yourself is important. Understanding why you're here, all that's important. And no psychic's going to say, oh, you're here to do this and that. No, nobody's here to do whatever anybody else says, period. And what you do does affect that. But in the UFO world, all these people getting abducted that are abducted people have a bad experience, and they're protected from what real and not shown what's really going on in a lot of cases. I mean, back for 25 years that I know, a lot of the people just had missing time. They didn't know what went on when they were abducted. And when I work with them, only through hypnosis, hypnosis has a boundary that breaks whatever hypnosis or programming that they could put into the brain, because soul's separate, and there's a way to separate that so you can get the actual truth from soul, not the brain, because the brain's going to be programmed not to say anything. But I don't want to get into that in detail. But I did hypnosis for 25 years. I started when I was 14 years old. All right, I did psychic implant removals. I did past life regression, which I created a long time ago. So I found out the truth, and I never got paid for any of that. I never charged anybody anything for what I did. I think the truth should not be charged for. We all need it. We can move forward greatly if everybody knew the real truth.
I think they miss not just about the real truth, because I think all these fake things that go on, it's so bad for the world of ufology, and it does blot out the truth, and it pushes people that should be in the limelight, it pushes them down, and it actually blocks out the truth. But I think I think the government are definitely missing a beat with abductees. They're missing a tune with abductees. The abductees hold so much more information. I mean, if they think they know these species and they've been inside their link or inside their minds and how they communicate, I mean, I think you find a whole different other side. And more abductees hold different types of information. If you could get an abductee to go back into that link and communicate with them, it's knowing how to work it. You'd find so much. I mean, I was in there like for a fraction each time I was at, it was so much information in that link.
I got to bring this out before I forget. I was given a video this morning, and it's a famous, not a famous, but a high government person who came out and said that the government knew all about this stuff, but they related it to entities and demons. All right. And that's what's really going on right now. So, they're still going to twist everything and make it everything but what it is. All right. I mean, religious people say, well, all aliens are demons. I mean, and religion takes over a big percentage of the planet. So it's still being covered up by people that don't have any truth. Sure, if everybody went out in their house, in front of their house, and an alien landed, they would believe it. But then they would say, oh, maybe it's the government made a robot, or they would probably downplay it. And if the government comes down, well, we just testing people. We were just trying to see what people think. When they put that movie out on the radio about the encounter of an alien coming down the Hudson River in New Jersey and stuff, 40 people committed suicide within that one day.
Orson Welles, wasn't it? Is it Orson Welles that did that?
Orson Welles, yeah. All right. So, people were gullible then, but they're not gullible, but they don't want to look for the truth either anymore. They're so tied up with paying their bills and everything else, worrying about getting sick. They don't have time to think about anything important.
People nowadays don't have true lives anymore. All we are slaves or drones or whatever it is. We're just working machines for the government to earn pay. They give us false money. We work to keep the machines and everything else going. Human beings don't have a life anymore.
Oh, let me answer that for the person that just asked the question. Yes, they are completely different. I work with both people, and I'm not making up. I was doing ghost busting when I was 16. I did exorcisms for when I was 25. All right, demons and entities are different. Now, the main difference between an alien and an entity is aliens eat food. They travel around in a spaceship. Demons and entities do not have to, and they don't have to eat and all those kind of things. All right, so there's a big separation when somebody says, well, this is that or that's that. No,
demons don't take you on board a ship, abduct you, torture you, take parts out of you, and then put you back.
So, people, I'm glad you asked the question, but you really need to know the difference, because you're going to hear it. And like I said, this person came out recently, just this week, saying the government knows that they're demons. Really? Do you know what a demon is? There's
probably something from a different dimension, just like probably these aliens.
Because of Nikola Tesla, and it's called the Montauk Project. They put a rip in the astral plane. All right, that's the next realm. All right, and when they say dimensions, it's not further than the astral plane, people. It's not like 100 levels up or 10 levels this way or that. It's the astral plane, and all the entities are coming into this reality now. They're the ones that people are filming on TV. Just put up the ghost show, the demons, and people say, "Well, look at this
They used to
demon."
call it Limbo years ago, didn't they? The astral plane Limbo. Yeah.
There's so many movies now on a weekly basis showing people doing with ghosts and demons and all that. They are different. All right. So when people, if you get abducted, it's a lot different than being possessed by an entity. They're two separate kind of realities. They're both dangerous. The government doesn't talk about demons, really, do they? They don't accept exorcism as a. I mean, even the church is still fighting over that. The Pope himself created 1,500 people to do exorcisms, even outside the church, because it's not about how much you know Jesus to get rid of an entity, and all entities aren't afraid of you saying Jesus either. So, and just so you know, if you ever saw the movie The Exorcist, it's a real story.
I just watched the film The Exorcist.
It wasn't a girl; it was a boy that happened, and the priest did get killed, and all that went down. It was a real story, people. So, but people had so much fear when that movie was released.
Sorry, I put my fan on. My face is bright red. I'm having a hot flush or something. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
You might be able to hear a noise. It's my fan.
But people, we're in trouble in a lot of different ways. I mean, with war on the fringe and different things like that. Realize government, aliens like war. It produces more money. It produces getting rid of some of the population. It does a lot of things. Aliens need more food. So it filters through to all of them. And only recently, within the past couple of years, did I know people in Vietnam. Most of them were killed. But a lot of the ones actually admitted that ships came down during Vietnam, taking the bodies.
Yeah, they said that. Soldiers said that.
There's so many things that was squashed. And how did it get squashed so incredibly? I mean, I had friends that came back.
Sorry, they're supposed to be this June. I believe there was talk on you had nothing. Our news in England has been heavily censored here in the UK. It has been for about a year now. Wasn't there supposed to be another government meeting about evidence and people coming forward?
Oh, they've been having them for the past 2 months now.
Oh, and, what's the upshot of
that? They're not showing anything. And obviously they're saying, well, it's closed doors and this, that, and the other thing.
But it's supposed to be open to the public.
No, they can't admit what. Put it this way. UFO stuff and space stuff is considered weaponry. And they can't talk about weapons publicly. All right? They can't expose that kind of stuff. So they keep it top secret. But all these people that did work for the government are coming out now. I mean, one of the most famous people.
I thought they were still having public hearings, like they were accountable to the public now.
That's the second everything with Stephen Greer, and he gets people to come together to talk and ask questions.
No, the public thing they had it they were being interviewed. The panel was being interviewed.
Again, it wasn't inside the White House. I mean, the one that they publicly showed, where they showed it. All right, the closed door meetings are what's happening.
No, they're having a lot of meetings.
It's all these UFO people come and say, "Oh, what's this? What? I got a picture of an alien. I got a picture of a ship." But I'm not saying that's not real. But with Mr. Stephen Greer promoting, we need to talk to aliens and they're all good, he's delusional. And I would face him off at that conference, and I know they would take me out within a second because I'd call him such a loser that he has to tell people horrible stories and twist their minds to program to talk to aliens. Like, well, it's so bad that there's a temple in Tibet. These lamas get in these prayer circles and they pray and chant to talk to aliens. And they interviewed a couple of them. And they said, well, they were told about a big storm that hit. Billy Myers worked with aliens. He came out with 100 prophecies. 89 of them came true 10 years ago. So, prophecy isn't a good thing for us, because if a prophecy doesn't get changed, that's all it is. It's a prophecy. When they prophesied, Sean David Martin said 9/11 is going to get hit 1 year before it happened. He didn't stop it from happening. All right. When we go back to Nostradamus, and he told the queen, the king's going to get killed with a lance, and he goes out and gets killed with a lance. I mean, he didn't stop it. If a prophecy comes out and it doesn't stop anything, it's useless, people. So when people think aliens that are going to give us information, telling us that we're going to destroy ourselves, that alien that was if you watch the alien interrogation, watch it if you didn't see it yet. It's 3 parts. They showed one part of it on TV. Whitney Schreiber there was watching it crying and everything else. So watch it. But it's a real thing, people. And they're torturing this alien because he said one person's going to destroy the planet. And they were trying to make him say it. Say it. Who is it? And the alien kept saying, I don't know. I don't know. And I can't say it. I don't know who it is. But it's one person. But listen to how the alien says the Earth was created and all these things. It's their theories, the same as our theories. Nobody talks about a God. They can't. They're not brave, spiritual enough, or aware enough to even understand a real God. Aliens came here and pretended they were gods to the Egyptians, to the Mayans, to the Aztecs. All right. So we're in a serious trouble right now again. And why I'm doing this to show the people that they need to look for the truth, find it, and at least take it in and say, well, could this be real? You don't have to believe everything we say. You don't have to believe Tina was not abducted or she's just making it up. She's not doing it. She's not making money off of it. She's sickly. She could leave us any day, and her story will get squashed because she wasn't real. Somebody will come out and say that because they squash any important story, like Phil Snyder, the second most important UFO story. Oh, he committed suicide. Really?
He committed suicide strapped to a chair with barbed wire strapped around him. That makes you
basically what his body looked like. His hand was sawn off in half. His foot was blown out. His stomach had a slit across his whole thing. He committed suicide? No. Sorry, people. But people, we try to keep you up to par what's going on today. All right. And right now, the government's doing everything they can to cover up the story of the UFO that landed in Vegas. It landed. Policeman filmed it on his camera. And his family filmed the alien in their yard. All right. For real, people. I know a person whose uncle lived right next door to the house. So it's not a fake story. I mean, sure, they made it up. They already told the people they can't go on further with the story. But this is, I don't know what nationality they are, but, they're in this country and they probably don't want to get thrown out, or the government could say, we wouldn't throw you out of the country. Who knows what they could say to his family. I mean, a little boy said he saw it and it was materializing and it formed this, and they don't want people to know what's really going on. I'm not going to go into the abilities aliens have because humans have them too. Just that we lost them and we don't know how to use them. And Caroline Corey has no abilities, which she claims she has. All right, people. All these psychic people and magical people claiming all these superpowers. Well, if you go through history, a lot of spiritual people claim to be spirits at that time actually walked through walls or were bilocated in 2 places at the same time. We had the ability to do that. We screwed it up. We screw everything up. Man just keeps making more deadly toys than anything else in their agenda of what to do. Now, we brought a drone to Hawaii. It looks incredible. But what are they doing with it? Testing it, dropping bombs up on top of the mountain. People, we don't move forward in any spiritual way or any loving, caring, compassionate way either. All we care about, not we, people, money and power. Nothing else. Sure, the fame and fortune and all those words are there, but they don't care about people. UFOs are flying all around us all the time. Sajel and I, we used to film ships all day long, but they weren't stopping, coming down and saying hi to us either. All right. Now they're coming down a lot more. More people are being abducted. All right. They're programming people now to be an experiencer, which is the word I hate. And Tina and I have a thing about the word experiencer means programmed. I won't say what they are.
That just takes me off that word.
Right. And claiming, a good alien took me on a ship and we went around and we traveled the universe. Really? Your body can't do it, people. I'm not going to get into that again today, but your body can't do it. All right. And there's certain things that would have to be done.
I mean, something as well, I think the people, everyday people now, I think people are so encompassed in sitting in front of a computer or iPad or phone or TV and just watching the same old dribble. There's no human life anymore. But there are more and more reports of unusual things. There are more reports of things in the sky. People do need to start reporting these things more, and the government should be held more accountable. And yes, these experiences that come forward. The reason I don't like the word experiencer because it takes it away from it dumbs down the word or calms down the word a lot of abductee. I am an abductee. I'm not an experiencer. People say yes, or your experience. Everyone has experience, but you are an abductee, or you're not, or you're a ufologist. You're interested in UFOs, and if people are interested in abduction and UFOs, there's a world of ufology. But abduction and UFO sightings are completely different. They are probably the same beings doing it, but we talk from your own experience and perspective. So that's where me and Tommy come from. Yeah. So Tommy just doing his little messages now.
I'm just trying to get back to these.
That's okay. So that's why I'm against the word experiencer. Everybody has different experiences or episodes in their life or encounters. So
I worked with Sajel for 7 years, and then we got together again when I did Carrie Cassidy's show. But see, here's the thing, people. I'm
meeting her, Carrie Cassidy. I'm doing a talk with her.
Well, I had to come out to a ranch I was staying at with John Edmund, and she filmed the ship right over the house as well.
Double check it is that lady. I'll tell you when it is. But I've received an email from her. She's in the UK. Hold on, let me just.
She travels a lot. She goes to every whistleblower she can find. The problem is she believes 90% of them. I actually confronted her.
I'm seeing. I'll tell you all about that. Right at the High Elms Manor. It is from Carrie Cassidy, and it is it's called Awakening 2023. It's at the High Elms Manor. And Awaken Aware on August 2023, 12th and 13th. You've got Maria Whitley, which I've spoken before. I think it's Kaz Clarkson, guest Miles Johnson, Alan Richard Miller, and then it's Carrie Cassidy, then me, Simon Parks, and Janet Shuddock. So I'll have a picture. I'll get a couple of pictures together and put them up for you. But that's the lineup, and I'll be doing my talk called the human side of alien abduction and the consequences that go along with that.
Well, she just texted me this morning, just so you know, because I confronted her. She had a guest on he claims to be this great person and everything else, but he puts everything down, everything's fake and all that. And she goes, well, I just wanted to give him see what he had to say from the other side of the UFO world. But he puts everything down. And I said, look, just because you never saw a UFO, never next to an alien, don't say they're not existent or real. But she texted me this morning saying she had him on for that reason. I was on her show a couple times. We debated. She was alive in Atlantis as well, but much later than I was. She was there at the very end of Atlantis. I wasn't. But people, she has a lot of the most biggest whistleblowers from around the world, and she travels. She had a partner. She used to travel everywhere all the time. So pull up her site. You got to pay to join it, which is fine. But like I said, I don't believe 90% of the whistleblowers on her show. All right, and they're great storytellers. But people want to.
Some people's stories do sound incredible. If you listen to mine, you think I don't care. People think you're nutty or what's happened, unless you actually see it or it's physically happened to you and you got evidence to back it up.
You have a lot of evidence. I mean, a lot of it
we just wait for this chest X-ray, the image of this.
A lot of it we can't get public. Which I said, why can't we? Is there a big UFO following in England?
Is there what?
A big UFO following in England.
No, I think it comes and goes in waves, and it's very it's restricted, I think, to the middle of the country.
What I'm saying, the reason why I said that, can we get a group of people to go after the government to release the video?
I think I met Grant Cameron. I think he was. I think he did stuff on the White House and things like that. I met him once or twice, and I think he was like I wrote to the UN. I think he wrote to the UN. He was more in depth. I just wanted to answer some questions. But I think he was getting together with a couple of ufologists. I think that's what the ISA, International Coalition for Extraterrestrial, I think that's the one Gary Heseltine heads and is backed up by his deputy, David Hodgren. They're representatives of the UK, but here in the UK, there's nothing in Southampton. You have to go all the way up north, which is where I've got to travel.
Well, even if you did it like online and tried to get a people group together.
I went to Birmingham.
But if you get like, I don't know what the number is in your country, but like if you get 24,000 signatures, they have to do something about it. They have to show it. They have to investigate it. I'm saying we can get people to sign it, hopefully. But see, now here's the thing: John Ford.
They can't even feed the poor in this country.
He's in the nut house. Wait, John Ford is in the nut house right now. He's been in since 1996. They arrested him, said he had uranium, and he was going to kill people with that. All right, a horrible, make-believe, ridiculous story. But every year, because he's able to be released, but he has to get reevaluated. The government comes in and says we have to reevaluate him, which means he gets locked in the nut house for another year. I saw his video before he went to jail. He sent 4 copies around the world. They only get released if he dies. All right.
Well, I have. So talk about evidence and things like that. So you guys don't know. If you go onto YouTube, I'm on YouTube. I'm T.A. Bird on YouTube. It's called Encounters. So my show continued on from me. It's called Encounters. T.A. Bird's on YouTube. And I've put up 3 videos, 3 or 4 like little and one sort of my talk I did, the human side of alien abduction. But I recently went out and did some filming, and I've not released it yet, but I've been sent some pictures. And a few years ago, literally not far from where I live, less than an hour, 40 minutes from where I live, an alien spacecraft went over, was in the field, loads of people saw it, and I went to interview this gentleman. Well, I haven't released his name quite yet, but I have. He sent me these images. I put my hand over that a bit. Sorry, so you can actually see. Oh, sorry, let me just hide his telephone number and his details. 1 second. Now. Oh, bugger. Hold on 1 second. Excuse me. Right, now. There was a main ship there in the sky. See it sparkling? This there? And then look. See that? Where? I can't see my finger. There. Hold on. Ooh, there. So that's the ship it came from. And there's a little one. Now look at that. Look at that. So I've taken went up there. He sent me these pictures. His friends wrote a statement. We went up there, had a look. He's given me his account. And it's going to be out on Encounters, hopefully within the next 2 or 3 weeks or very shortly. And also Encounters this week, we gave away our first goodie bag. So I've been getting some freebie bits and pieces in. But with my illness in that, more people should do it. Oh, and by the way, I don't live far from Stonehenge. It's probably at 45 minutes in every direction from where I live. Literally within 25 to 30 minutes from where I live, there's been a couple of big, huge crop circles appeared this year. Not literally, not by my work. It's not far from where I live here. So I live in an area. But Tommy has been right. If you look back and watch our videos, Tommy may have taken a mickey and take the rise at me, but he has been right about so many things. So I'm just going to get my Geiger counter out. I know it's a little bit early, but I was ill a couple of years ago, and my illness is getting worse. And Tommy said to me, Tina, go and get a Geiger counter. He said, probably because you're suffering from radiation poisoning. And so I just thought he was messing about. Do you know what? It was 20 quid, £18 at the time on Amazon. I got one. And I had it for about a year, I think, Tommy, didn't I? I dropped it one Christmas in the sink or in the tea or something. I can't remember what I did. And it started beeping. And we've had people on the show, people trying to look into it. And it's not supposed to do anything. This one here is, I'll tell you exactly what it is. So, I'll show you what it is. It's electrical magnetic radiation tester. And you turn it on, there it is there. That's exactly the back. There it is there. Tommy has one, the identical one in Hawaii. You can buy one on Amazon. Just going to turn it on. Let me just turn my fan off because I don't want any interference from anything anywhere. So there it is there, and it's nothing. Last week, oh, there's one there. No, so at the top, you can see, oh, sorry. So it says here, there we go that side. Volts per meter, electrical magnetic field, volts per meter, and microteslers. So that's when your any equipment gives off electrical magnetic readings. Normally mine is 0. For some reason, when I put it near me, it's getting close to me, it's going, but the bottom one is the one you want to be more interested in because it's microteslers, electrical magnetic radiation. Now, for some reason, right, it's about I'm waiting for it to go to 0, and it's not being. There you go. Right. So I'm going to try. Every time I put it close to me, the numbers have been going up. Now, Tommy's got his. His is on 0 at the moment. Now, I'm just going to hold it on me there. Tommy's is flashing. Mine is starting to go up. So there you can see. Now, when it flashes, it says harmful. At the moment, it says safe. I don't know if you saw it at the bottom there. And I'm going to try this side. Normally, this is the side that beeps, isn't it? Or is it the other side? So there you go. It is 0. Where it is going up.
Yeah. I don't know how to show this on the screen. I'm going to try to get a mirror. Mine, I've got it over your face right now. And mine's at 1.98.
It doesn't go. It doesn't. So there's the numbers there. So you give off micro. Normally this thing beeps. It's not beeping. But I did have about 2 weeks ago an X-ray, and it's taken down the level of radiation. Dose me. Normally it's been high, and it's not. It's taking it down. But I'm still getting readings from it, so I shouldn't be getting anything.
Tina.
Yeah, because
trying to get you to see the bottom, because I got I had my Geiger counter over your face, and I got radiation on the bottom again, which is impossible. All right, people, just so you know,
it's not on any other part of my body.
I can't. There it is, but I turn this way. Oh man, I can't get it.
Nope, nothing until I reach my neck. It always gets me my neck and the base of my skull.
But it's the first time I
taking readings, Tommy.
Mine's going over 100 now.
So
I have it over your face.
It's actually not beeping. So that's one thing I'm actually glad about this week. I'll get readings, but it's within the safe reading. Thank you, God. Normally it's extortionately high. And it's going harmful, and hopefully that's what my headaches has been. The radiation or whatever it is leaving me. So there's Tommy's going off.
I'm trying to show you the bottom scale going off now.
You're all right. Go out and do a bit of ghost busting or whatever. Take it to I'll tell you what, they're very good in crop circles. They just go nuts. So that's very, very good to see.
Yeah. I'm going to show a video.
Yep.
It was taken off the air.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If anybody out there has a camera, it'll be on the show, hopefully, because it was taken off the air the second Sargel and I had a fight. All right, it was a show, Strange Universe. Mm-hmm. Let's see if I can get this camera around. I'm going to pull it up. Hopefully, you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
His Earth name is Brian Williams. His star name is Sargel 18. He says aliens help him predict the future.
What is coming is enlightenment, Earth changes, and the greatest change
Did you see?
of all.
I don't know if you saw the ship come by.
On the universe, enlightenment, Earth.
He says aliens help him predict the future.
What is coming?
I'll have a look at that.
Hold on. I got to try to get it.
The greatest change of all is the realization that
aliens help him predict the future.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Right.
Earth changes.
Yeah.
And the greatest change of
We showed it. That was shown when we did the TV show in 97, I think it was, 96 and 97. 96. The show was taken off the air the following week. But that was on until about a year ago when I had a fight with Sargel. Everything he put up online was taken down. Anything relating to him and me was taken down. If you dig, you can find a couple things out there, but he stripped everything. I mean, he came into a lot of money, so I truly believe he was bought out, and he won't get back. I wrote him a letter just to see if he would get back to me, and he didn't, obviously. He was deathly sick. He was dying. He said, our pictures are copyrighted. We filmed thousands, but he copyrighted them all. I have a few that he didn't get, but most of them he copyrighted. He said if I put any of them up, he'll take me to court. But
so who? Yeah. Oh, you're frozen again.
Guess what, Tina? Can you see it?
No, you're frozen. Your picture's frozen.
That never happened before either. But again,
you're on now.
That was taken down. Strange Universe was taken off the air. All right.
You've got a question in the chat room, Tommy.
And John Ford, that name over there, he was arrested the following week too, as well.
No, Ed's asking you a question. Where can he find the alien interview?
Just type alien interview. No, alien interrogation, not interview. They were interrogated and they weren't like friendly with them. But it's pretty long and it's real. So people, the truth's out there. I mean, even that, I'm surprised it's still up. Because, there was so much saying that it was fake, it was fake, it was fake. I can tell you this. I have a friend's uncle was there when it was filmed, so it was real. All right? So people, watch it and get some idea what they look like, one race anyway, and what government does with them. But, I mean, the stories that went down with Evie, who was the alien that was inside the White House working with the government for many years, a couple years, they ended up killing him. Because he was in charge of all the aliens that were here on the planet at that time. I mean, the story is incredible. You want to read the stories about it? Sands of Time, read it. It's up to series 5 now. And then Fred Bell, his book, Rays of Light, Crystals of Truth. Read his book because he worked for the government. He worked on the HARP system. All right, he was on Billy Meyer's friends' ships and things like that. So, yeah, he's an incredible person. I was friends with him. But he was killed 2 days after he did the show. So, people, look for the truth. Find it. Don't believe everything we say. I don't expect you to. But go out and see a UFO if you never saw one. Spend 1 week. Go out between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. When you look at the sky, don't stare at a star. Just keep your eyes wide open.
If you're in the UK, go outside as soon as it's dark.
Well, I found...
It's dark out there. You look up.
I'm talking major ships.
You'll see something, especially in Southampton.
2 days ago, I went outside about a quarter after 4. I had 3 cameras, and I was just put it away. I filmed one little ship going across the sky. All of a sudden, this big orange ship is coming right across the sky, real slow. So I reached down, grabbed my camera, started pulling it up to my eye, and the second I got it towards the ship, it disappeared. Yeah. Then I kept the camera going. Now I'm following another ship going across the sky, and it's going like this. They were really going slow, all of them. I mean, really slow. And all of a sudden, this blinking ship was going all around it, like this. I filmed the whole thing as well. But I tell people, my friend next door, he shot 12 ships coming out from under the ground. They came up. I watched. He showed it to me. They go around in a circle, like that, up into space. It's not a drone, please, people. And it's not a meteorite. It's not a comet. They don't go the opposite way. And if you go into a couple of the sites now, you can pull up tons of videos of ships, which you need to see. They're not all fake. To even design some of the ships that they're filming and putting up from other countries would take a lot of time and energy. To put up a fake ship like that, for what reason? But they show them over ships, U.S. ships, government ships, Russian ships, and things happening, people. Check it out. Instagram is what I'm talking about. Sorry. Pull it up. All right. Now, we don't have much time. Tina, do you want to... you got something coming up now?
Yeah. So
I'll let her talk for a few minutes.
So, guys, if you go onto Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but mainly YouTube. If you go onto YouTube and put in Encounters, T.A. Bird Encounters on YouTube, you'll see I put on a video library, 4 parts about my abduction, being interviewed by Miles Johnson for Basis Project. So there they are, Basis Project here in the UK. And you can find them on other social media platforms. But if you go onto YouTube and you're like logged in like Ed and Melody are, you've got a YouTube account, log in, click like and share on T.A. Bird. I've put up, it's about an hour and something. You don't have to watch it all, but watch it. It's my talk about the human side of alien reduction. That was a bit of eye-opener. There's evidence on there. There's pictures on there. We do talk about it. So it is definitely worth watching. Like, share, and subscribe. And I put a couple of little ads up. And you could win one of the goodie bags. I've got one here, but I've been giving away 3 goodie bags if you look on, I think, my Facebook page, I gave one away this week to a young lady. My PA draws out whoever it is. We put the names in her, and she uses a tool. She draws the name, and they win our goodie bag. So we contact you if you're a winner, but you must be subscribed so we know who you are to contact you. So please like, subscribe, and share. Go onto YouTube, share, like, watch. Even better, watch. Learn something new. And it's TA Bird. So you can contact me at tabird@hotmail.com. So go on there. Or you go on the internet. You can look me up on there, and you can find me on Amazon. TA Bird, The Guardians of Light and the Brotherhood of the Night, and the Checkpoint. So you can find any of them. So check out, buy a book on Amazon. But I'll be doing a talk with Kerry Cassidy coming up, and I'll be at the Awakening this year at the end of August. And I'll be up north as well, East Anglia UFO group, doing a talk and meeting up there in Newmarket. That will be later in the year, 21st of August. So if you're up that way of the country, please let me know. I'll send some pictures. If you like, follow them on Facebook, TA Bird on Facebook, or TA Bird International Author. If you go on there, or Hive, Human Individuals Visited by Extraterrestrials, go on any of those sites, and you'll see my pictures up there, and you can follow me on there. Ask as many questions as you like, but definitely go on to TA Bird on Encounters on YouTube. Everything's on there, and I'll be uploading more, and especially the upcoming video documentary that I spoke to. He had a full-on sighting. He wasn't the only one. He took me to land. We showed it all, and he has pictures. So I'll be releasing that little documentary and little investigation about that, because he believes he did lose time, and it's connected to abduction. So I'm all about the abduction side of contact. So please, guys, again, I'll throw myself on your mercy now. Go on to TA Bird on Facebook. You'll find me, and you can look at my pictures there. You see some pictures I've taken of the night sky as well. So if you go on there and you see anything familiar, go outside, take pictures of things you see in the sky, ask questions. That's what we're about. We, promote it. We're tax-paying human beings at the end of the day, and we should be doing more, and the government should be doing more to protect us and help us. Okay, so yep, Tommy's talking about Jesus. This is my cue to leave when he starts talking about Jesus.
No, he asked me about it because
right, okay. But
Sanjel's last prophecy was Jesus comes down and kills Lucifer in 2034.
Okay.
So
hopefully come down in between that and give me the lottery numbers. That'd be nice. But apart from that, keep tuning in, watching Encounters here every week. Me and Tommy, we have a little chit chat. We bring up everything and anything, mainly about abduction and how we've been done wrong. But if you've got anything to contribute, you have a question from a previous show, you have an answer from a previous show, you'd like to talk about something else, please come on. Tommy's going to put his email up again at the bottom, just for those who haven't seen it already. Please come on to the show. Email Tommy any questions about any previous show or any future show, and we'll get back to you. If we don't know an answer to a question, we will find somebody that does. Please feel free to email, message, and come on to the show and speak to us, or tell us about your encounters if you'd like to come on our show and be interviewed by myself or Tommy. But for me, Tina Bird here in the UK, I know it's a bit early. I'm going to go. It's been a long day for me, but we will see you next week. And we're coming on up to, I think it's our 3rd year now, isn't it? Our 3rd year?
Feel better, Tina.
Yeah, we're coming back on up to our 3rd year now. So, yeah, fingers crossed. And keep looking up in the skies. Tommy's had lots of activity. Anyone can back it up in Hawaii. Anyone has seen anything, please let us know. And show your evidence, pictures, or questions on here. But for now, I've been Tina Bird here in Southampton in the UK. Thanks to everyone across America, internet, and Hawaii. And I'll see you next week. Keep looking up, guys. Bye-bye. Check out Encounters on YouTube. Bye-bye.
All right, people, Tina Bird. You know where she stands because she's been abducted a lot. The government doesn't help her. People don't help her. Medical field doesn't help her. I feel bad because she can't get help from nobody, and obviously nobody's going to talk about what's really going on in her world. So yeah, her idea of what's real and what's not is much different than most people, but she has the inside proof of certain things that most other people will never get. I hope you got something out of the show. If you have the whatever word you want to use, but send this link to everybody you know. Uh, the truth's got to get out there, and I tell you, none of these people in the UFO world will debate me. I'm in Skinwalker Ranch as a member. I wrote the Travis, whatever his last name is, of the personal letter. See if he gets back to me. Not one person will talk to me. You know, does the government leave me here? And that's why they leave me here, because nobody does talk to me. They're all afraid to. But I will debate anybody and everybody, all together or not. I mean, I think get all these top speakers, put them in a room. And they always have a panel. I was on that panel, I'd tear them all apart because they're all telling stories that don't mean anything or not important for us. If it can't help us, is it useful? Of course not. If it's not going to change the world, what good is it? Aliens are here. And they're not here for the betterment of mankind, people. And you need to understand that. Stephen Greer, Caroline Corey, all these big names, Corey Good, and people that come out and say this, that, and the other thing. It is not good because they're not here to help us. They've been here for thousands and thousands and thousands of years before us. Different races have come and gone. Has any one of them helped us move forward? And now, people, this is a fact. Tesla worked with an alien race. He came out with 200 inventions, people. 50 of the most deadliest weapons on the planet, which he gave to the United States. Do you call that a good thing from aliens? The worst thing that was given to the human race was time travel. And I was friends with Al Bielek, who actually went back in time. He's one of the only people that was actually really doing it. I mean, another person came out in Jersey, said he's a time traveler and all that. Went to Mars with the president. So does Laura Eisenhower. But people, stories are great. No proof and no evidence and no reason what was really going on. What do aliens eat, people? How many people talk about that? What do they wear? Where do they get their clothes from? What kind of companies do they use to manufacture and produce these ships that are like a half mile long, and things like that? People, the truth's out there. See it. See your first ship. It'll wake you up. A mothership came over Hawaii. I had 4 people said they saw it. Not one of them filmed it. Then I got one person said he did film it. I never got the video from him. All these people that film things disappear, hate to say it, or just hide it and don't want to come out with it. But until next time, I don't want to keep this any longer. I'm glad you all came. Hawksblood here, calling from the big island of Hawaii. Truth's out there, people. Even when X-Files came out, all those stories were real. Really, people. They were based on files taken out of a police department. I know some famous UFO guy claims he wrote them all, but he didn't. You know, people take credit for things. Like Nasser Harriman. Oh, he invented string theory, which he didn't. But he also claims he has the Ark of the Covenant. These people make incredible claims. Drummer Melchizedek claims he's working with the alien races inside the planet. 6 years ago, he was supposed to take them out and introduce them to the world and all that. He said he brought 100 people down in the base, and the stories are great, but the facts are gone, or are none. People, do I want to prove everything? I'm just telling you what's happening. It's up to you to find the truth for yourself. I saw UFOs, I saw aliens, I've been there. Sergio and me walked on government property and saw every kind of creature you could name. I don't have to prove it to myself. I did exorcisms. I learned about demons. I was doing ghost busting when I was 16 in New York City in the Juno Mansion and other places, but that was the most famous place because George Washington set up his headquarters there, and lots of people were killed on that. And it became Harlem. In the middle of Harlem is the oldest house in the United States, the Juno Mansion. All right, people. Till next time, Tommy Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island. Enjoy your day, enjoy your night, wherever you are. Tina, it's nighttime. So email me, text me, Skype me. If you have something important to say, please do. Till next time, over and out.
Raise my eyes to the wild blue yonder. I can't believe what I see, and it makes me wonder what's falling down on me. The sky, the sky, the sky. The sky, the sky, the sky is falling. The sky is falling.